Okay, just a quick little video here to kind of reiterate some of those points about how entrenched gender is in the 1950s post-war period, but also how strict the lines of race are too. So in your textbook does a really good job with this, talking about the suburbs, talking about rock and roll, but just a few things here to kind of reiterate it. So first thing to think about is that television. There are 3 channels in the 1950s. There's ABC, CBS, and NBC. And when something is on, it's on. You don't get to see it again. Like there's no streaming services, there's no taping it, recording it later. It's just gone. And so everybody, right, schedules their lives around when television shows are on, and because they don't want to miss it, because you'll never see it again. It doesn't get repeated. There's not cable that can show reruns of things. So everybody wants to watch it at the same time. And they're all watching the same thing. That's the other thing, because there's only 3 channels. They're all watching the same thing. And on that television, everybody's white, everybody is married. It's that, again, very sort of strict interpretation of things. The gender roles are also evident. Your text has an advertisement, but I put it's from How to Survive an Atomic Bomb. So according to this graphic, like the bomb has dropped, it's the apocalypse, but women are still responsible for childcare and men are the cleanup crew, right? So I think that image also reflects those entrenched gender roles. And again, your text does a pretty good job with that. And the film clip I've got there for you does that too. So television, gender roles, suburbs, right? Most of those suburbs are restricted to people of color. They don't have access to those communities. So that's further going to create these lines of division and separation. Your textbook does a good job of looking at those restrictions, and the video clips do too. Also, just the ways in which there's conformity, right? All of the houses look the same. You know, they have the same floor plan on the inside, but maybe they change around the paint colors on the outside. Everybody looks the same on the television. And then the other key part of this is baby boomers, right? In 1946, there is one baby born every 10 seconds. Every 10 seconds, one baby born in 1956. And then in a 5-year span, and it's not the first 5 years, 47 to 53, I believe. In that time span, those 5 years, there are more babies born in those 5 years than the previous 30 years combined. Like, that's kind of mind-blowing in terms of the numbers of babies that are being born. And then, of course, these so-called baby boomers, right, are going to influence each stage of their life is going to influence how society is structured. And so, you know, there's a teen culture that's developed in the 50s and 60s, like late 50s, early 60s, that didn't really exist before. But now there's such a huge demographic, they can't be ignored. And that's really evident in music. And the text notes rock and roll, and then the film clip does too. And again, the key there, again, in terms of how separated all of these things are, is that rock and roll has its roots in African American music, but that's not acknowledged or recognized once it becomes mainstream. Now we're going to address what's happening in communities of color. We'll get to that in the next lecture. All right, I hope you're doing well. If you've got any questions, you can leave those in the discussion board. Send me an email. Take care.